Okay, so a little bit of an update of the toy that I've put together. I have some hopes for this. As I mentioned in the non-audio video, this is sort of based on a what I consider to be a completely horrible theme for the Ludum Dare that just went on. I dropped out of the dare on Saturday afternoon after having gone through about five different ideas and realizing I didn't have time to complete any of them. But one of the ideas was kind of neat, so I decided to pursue it, and that's what we have here. So if you watched the previous video, you'll know that I've built a maze generator, and I've got various properties that I can control in the maze generator. I don't know if it's easy to see, but I can change, how many cells wide and long and things like that. I have the option to project it out into a flat surface, the outside of a cylinder, or finally the inside of a cylinder. So the last video I didn't have the inside of the cylinder done, but I have that now. One of the things that I found was really annoying is that when you're in design mode, you can't see, what it is or where things are going to be located. So I can move around, but I wouldn't have any idea where to place things. So I added an outline mode, so I can go in and see where my cylinder is going to be, or if I change that to flat, um, you can see that it lays out flat. Um, we'll go back to inner cylinder here because that will be the new one. And as you see, as I make changes in the settings, it updates the wireframe so that I can see what it is that'll be generated, at least ideally where it's going to be positioned, and then what its size is going to look like. Um, I could, in theory, have it show all the walls and things like that, but since those are going to be dynamic every time you run, it doesn't really make much sense to show and render and worry about processing all the maze walls and things like that. So we'll go turn the outline off for a minute, and we'll go to full game screen. And you'll notice I put a skybox in. This is one of the old Warpath skyboxes. I thought this thing would look great in space. And let's run it. So we get it open here, and bam, it's in space, and it is a giant cylinder. So just got a few controls here to move my camera around. I really love these textures. I got these off of Substance Share, off various artists who provide these to the Substance designer and community. And this is a fairly nice one. I just actually was toying around with this one and playing around with its resolution. I currently have it at a 2K resolution. Um, very very awesome system, Substance. If you do Unity and or any kind of game dev and you want good looking graphics, definitely look into Substance Designer and all those tools. Um, it's finally become relatively simple in Unity to utilize them. So, all right, so let's zoom back out here just a little bit. Talk about the mazes. Well, if I zoom in, you'll see that I've got this shiny little ball sitting here on the maze. I have implemented gravity. Now, imagine, if you will, that this is a space station and it is rotating. That rotation creates gravity, which pulls things to the outside as opposed to in one direction, like down. Um, I have, no rotation visible on it because that would be probably difficult to visualize, and it might be part of a gameplay feature to have rotation. So by default, it simply simulates some gravity. So I've got if I hit the space bar here, I can generate a sphere somewhere near the middle, and it will drop. Depending on where it drops in comparison to the center, and where there's a ring, its gravity will move towards the outside. So if we move in here, we can see these balls sitting as if they just belong up there. Um, so imagine you are a player and are, you know, standing on the ceiling like this. It's very hard to do because my mouse gets inverted when I do this. Um, but yeah, the you would be experiencing gravity as if this was down, but in reality, that's down way over there. Well, down in game sense. So get this turned around here. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at maybe eventually when I get all the pieces into this, uh, might be something that I could put up on the asset store. I want to get plenty of features in it, places for programmers to plug in functionality and various maze algorithms and let them code their own algorithm if they want. The ability to put things like walls or rooms in by taking down all the walls in a certain area to make a specific room, which would be good for storytelling and making a say a roguelike game or so some sort of D&D game if you wanted to do this in a flat world. Um, let's see some of the other things I'm wanting to do. Oh yeah, I want to generate spawn points or have the ability to plug in a your own algorithm to generate spawn points and uh, locations. Locations being specific positions. For example, you know this corner right here might get randomly selected to have a crate in it. I don't want to build the crate into this model, but what I can do is take whatever algorithm, say, a programmer wants to generate the locations. I could expose those locations in a as a list to the programmer after the mesh has been generated, so that they can use them to spawn objects or enemies or do whatever it is they want to do. Thinking about having doors and other interactive objects that I can spawn in. Um, for example, I might instead of having this, there might be a ceiling on this, and might be a sliding door that you have to push a button. Whoops, push a button like right here for this door to open. Those are things that I don't want to bake into the maze generation tool, but I want to put hooks in that might support anything that somebody might want to do. So yeah, having a lot of fun with this. Um, if anybody has any ideas for a game to be tried out on this and done, you know, hit me up, leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. Um, yeah, and I'll catch you later.